Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to this week's navigation task. We've got quite a tricky one this week, I think. So we got a photograph, and what I want you to do is work out where on the map this photo was taken. And we were somewhere on that pink line heading from north to south. So from this 629 height here, somewhere along that pinky purple line. I've removed that line on the map on the left just so you can see a little bit more detail as to what lies underneath it. So from that photo, is there enough information to work out where we were? Now it might be that there isn't enough information there, but there is enough information to rule out some parts of the map. So let's have a think about it and see where we could possibly be or where we certainly aren't. So we are in a gruff. So a gruff is a very steep-sided peat, little almost like a dry stream bed, or sometimes not a dry stream bed. These very steep high sides. We can't see anything else, can we? We can't see any landscape in the distance. We can't see, well, there doesn't appear to be any water running in the bottom of this gruff either. What we can see is the runners are about to take quite a sharp left turn, and then after that we don't know what's going on at all. It's hard to say on this particular one whether we are going uphill or downhill. It's quite hard to work that out from the camera angle, but let's have a look on the map and see if any of that makes sense. So coming from this high point, heading southwestwards along to here, well, if we look on this side of the map, going along, it doesn't, the fact that this is the high point might indicate that this ground along here is a little bit flatter without that very steep-sided valley or gruff. We come to a point here, and then we took a left turn. So possibly could say, well, we're about to take a left turn there. Do the contour lines indicate that we were in a little valley, gruff? No, they don't, but that we can't absolutely rule that out. Let's continue along. So we then pick up this stream bed here, and we come along it heading southeastwards, and we get to a point here. Now at this point you can see the kink in the contour, so we know that there's definitely a change in the shape of the ground there. Let me just zoom in a little bit for you. So we know at that point there that there will be higher ground on the left and the right. There is a little kink to the left there, and then looking on the other map we cross straight over and pick up the second stream almost immediately. There, look, come down there, and there's another kink to the left there, and then straight line, straight line, straight line, another couple of little kinks there, and then we get this other kink in the contour. Now don't get confused on this, because these kinks in the contours only happen to be where the contour value lies. These are 10-meter intervals, so it doesn't mean that there isn't another little change in the shape of the ground here. Imagine that Ordnance Survey put a 5-meter contour in, might put it in the middle here, and there might be another little kink there, little kink there, little kink there, little kink there. So we might expect that the shape of the ground all the way along here is running in that gruff shape, not just there and then flat and then another one here. Okay, so then we get to this point here and we turned sharp right, and then we get to this point here, sharp left. Could we be at that point there? Well, if you think about it, at this point, all these water features are draining towards the south and draining off the edge of the plateau here. So might expect that by the time we get to this point here, there is more water on the ground. So that would be a bit more of an obvious stream at our feet rather than higher up here. So that applies to all of this down here. And then we get to the edge path, and it's just an edge path with steep ground on our right hand side. So we can discount all of this along here. So what we have to look for is little possible left hand turns on these streams. So I've marked a few possibilities on there. The first one we get to that's likely to be in a gruff rather than this higher top of the plateau here is this one, and then there's another one, little one straight after, and then there's a couple there, one after the other, and then there's that one there. This one, as I said, might have more water in it than the one that we've seen. So I don't really expect you to be able to positively identify it without doubt, but it's going to be one of these three. So if you got that far, or you suggest it's one of these, then well done. The actual answer is that one, the first one. So we were coming from up here and we just got into these groups, and we just a little subtle left hand change on the map, but that was what we could see in the landscape there. So I just remove that little circle. Yeah, quite high up on the plateau in this really interesting landscape. So a quick comment on navigating in this kind of terrain. It can be quite confusing. Look at all these streams all running to the southeast, all in these little kinks in the contours here, line of them along here. So in the instance that we were there, we were on a navigation course, we didn't need to know exactly where we were. We were coming from the 629 point and we were heading to the southern edge of Kinder. And we knew that if we just kept following a rough direction, we would then pop out somewhere over here and we would then be able to relocate. If you think about it, all of these streams heading southeastwards all are draining down this point here. So as long as we kept going in the direction, slightly downhill, following any water, we would eventually pop out here, and then we'd be able to work out exactly where we were. So sometimes don't worry if you don't know exactly where you are, as long as you know how to get to somewhere that you can then relocate. Anyway, that was this week's answer. As I said, quite a tricky one, but I hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching. Look out for next week's navigation task. Bye for now.